Hey, this is Thomas Graham, Zero to Pass, Nubatama Third Eye coming at you with updated ninja traps. I've been playing this deck for about a month now since I posted it last time. I hope you guys have been able to try it out. I hope it's been helpful. It's been pretty interesting for me. The deck actually has performed pretty well in EX. Most of the playthrough for story, I use this deck once I'm able to build it, which I focused on early on. I also used my Deleter Brant bind deck to help when this deck was struggling a bit with some of the matchups, which I'm now practicing in free fight since I've finished the story. And I finished it twice. I finished it once with my Japanese account and once with my English account. There are credits for those who don't believe it. The game does finish. And then you unlock other characters who you can play. And the other thing I noticed too, for those who might be wondering, when you go out to free fight, the whole world fight free fight thing, you may notice that some of the decks aren't unlocked, which they hadn't been for me, but as I played free fight, I get rewarded with those decks. So there were like 5 decks that weren't unlocked for me during the story mode. So, but with that said, I wanted to bring you an update. Grade 3 lineups, the same. I focus on Storm, Shingo's boss, and Jamio Kongo Onimura's boss in EX. I have them together, and Voidmaster. And this has served me really well. Voidmaster definitely for Storm plays. Also for spamming Tengu. Using Gale to bounce Tengu, using Voidmaster to bounce Tengu has just been amazing. Getting that shield out of your opponent's hand is just wonderful. In terms of grade 2 lineup, I really wouldn't change anything. You need the soul charge. This card also helps proc him in terms of bouncing back to hand. Storm proc, Storm proc, Storm proc. So I still have enough cards in here that allow me to utilize Storm's offensive ability. Storm is typically my first ride. His defensive ability is amazing. And he's a really good first ride because you want to set up to where you can defend. You're gonna have to build a bit of a board to use him, but that's okay. Jamio Kongo really shines once you're able to get your opponent down to 4 cards, and then you start using things like Tengu, or I should say continue using things like Tengu to try to shrink that hand down as much as possible, if not disrupt it, just simply disrupt it. Filter Master's been really good. He's my best first ride. It helps me fix my hand. It's really amazing. Fuki was a new addition who I have been testing for most of the month now. And it's actually been pretty good. I'm pretty happy with Fuki. Fuki's definitely a flex spot, but his bonus has really helped. And then this guy, Tsumajibasho, has been amazing as well. These 2 cards, trapping your opponent into making poor plays, hopefully. 8 crit. This is a crit sack deck. You typically want to try to rush. If you have to counter rush, you try to do that and then just sack your opponent. With that said, I did want to talk about cards I don't have here and why. Kishira Kongo, while it works with Dreadmaster, Dreadmaster will be eating up your soul. These are your soul blast targets. Really great card. I love this. I did consider putting in, a ratio of Jamio and him because he's also a good first ride. Right? And he restricts your opponent in the way they can guard. But again, this can be problematic with him. Although it doesn't, yeah. And you want to use this to filter. That's the thing. You want to use this to filter. You want to be able to use that. I thought about Tendu Kongo. Voidmaster's too important. Requires a grade 3 Soul Blast. Requires grade 3 to be in Soul to maximize. Requires a grade 3 to Soul Blast to proc more attacks. So, yeah. Eats up your soul. I can't replace anything. Totally different deck strategy, and also eats up your soul. I'd love to have Tahogany in here. Name restricted card. Simply the better countercharger. doesn't require soul blast, or excuse me, doesn't require counterblast, doesn't require restriction on how many cards you want to play, and this doesn't pop back to hand like this guy. Haven't needed it, just have not. But you could. This is what I had in this spot. You just don't need this in this build. Again, considered it. Don't need it. If you ran him like I typically do, you may need Sakura Fubuki. But again, this is out of here, which helps with needing Sakura Fubuki to not be in the deck. Fights with Soul, totally different strategy, more storm focused. One card you can consider here is this guy. I've been considering him. I really like him. More counterblast would probably require Sakura Fubuki, although a really good card to consider. I have considered going back, replacing this with this, at least maybe 1 or 2 copies. Again, flex spot, and this is the one card that I'd really consider, just because I do like this card, but I'm finding that bonus really can help finish games. And the fact that I'm running 8 crit, he's not as important, but yeah, first ride, if you swing and hit and get a crit, it's 3 damage. So definitely, always in the back of my mind. Hagakure, a card I like, really, you could consider using it. You couldn't actually put it here. You'd only have 8 grade 1s left. So, and you couldn't take the Voidmaster out. I really missed Voidmaster at Springfest. So, I love the card, but just no space. And then draws, I'm typically running 7 draws, as you know, but again, this is more of a crit sack build, and it's been working for me. This is been working surprisingly well. One of my bad matchups has been Liqueur in EX, and I've been practicing with it, and I've been strategizing and learning lines of play that allow me to actually do very well. The great thing about EX is you can just run your deck through a gauntlet of decks, and the AI behind it, or the CPU behind it, does pretty well, actually. Doesn't really make that many mistakes from what I've noticed. So, but yeah. Anyhow, I wanted to bring this update to you, and I hope you guys are having a great week. I hope for those of you who are trying this out, that you are finding the success that I have been with it, and it's been very enjoyable for you. And I plan on working on my Shiranui premium build soon with Renee. Take care.